Heyo everybody, Haku here with a really quick Tower of God theory video. Now something we talked about in a theory video recently was where I think Rachel's character could go in the future in that cursed theory video. Or at least a thing that I think would be cool to see in the future for her character. But now we're going to talk about something that we really know very little about, and that's Rachel's past. Now there's not much we can know about the really specific stuff like where exactly the cave Bomb and her were in was, or how Bomb was brought back to life, or whether it was really inside or outside or somewhere in between. There's not too much we can know yet because that hasn't been revealed, and it's going to play heavily into Rachel's story as well. But I do think there's a little bit of evidence that I can pull my guess from. Now, spoilers from up to Floor of Death. I'm not going to be using any information to talk about this theory past that, so as long as you've read up into Floor of Death, you're good to not get spoiled. But we know less about her backstory than we know about Bomb's backstory. But we do know two things that are important, is that she knows more about her story and Bomb's story than what's been revealed to us, and then seemingly even what Bomb knows. So there's a lot more that she knows than he does, and I think that gives us a glimpse into something we can say about her past. And I think it could be one of two things, but the second point that I think is a hint is that when Wangnan says, and I don't know his exact line, but something along the lines of, wow, you can clean a place nicely for someone who's such a cantankerous, jerk. He didn't say that necessarily, but along those lines, and she says, oh, I've always been good at cleaning. And that makes me think that, that seemed like a very intentional line, especially at the point in time when it was given, right when we were getting into Bomb's backstory. So, my guess, and it's been my guess ever since the Floor of Death, but I figured I'd talk about it officially on its own in a quick video here, is I'm going to predict, my theory is that Rachel was Arlen's servant. Now, I don't know if she was her servant from when she was in the tower and she went outside of the tower with her, or if Arlen went outside of the tower and that's where she met Rachel and Rachel was her servant. But the fact that she was good at cleaning, the fact that she knows about Arlen, she knew about Arlen before Bomb did, and that she has more information than even what Bomb has right now, leads me to go for this guess. That she was Arlen's servant. And she wants to take Arlen's child's place in the prophecy, because she heard all these stories. If she has been Arlen's servant, even from inside the tower, maybe from outside, and I think more likely from outside, more likely she became her servant on the outside. I think if she is Arlen's servant, it makes sense that she would have heard about all of this stuff, the story that Garam told. She would have heard it from Arlen and heard about this prophecy and Arlen's revenge, and she's like, I want to take Arlen's revenge. I want to be the child of prophecy. And that's why she says, I don't care what Bomb is to Arlen, but I'm the one who's going to fulfill the prophecy. So she's basically saying, yeah, Bomb is Arlen's kid, but I want to be the one to take the revenge, to climb the tower, to go higher than what King Zahar did. So, again, I think that her having some relationship with Arlen to have heard these stories makes the most sense. And that is my sort of number one theory, is that she's going to be Arlen's servant, and she just wants to take Arlen's child's place as the child of prophecy. That is my number one guess. However, I will admit that there's also kind of a second guess that I think makes sense too. And I'll just call it the Cinderella theory guess. And that's that she's a person who lived outside of the tower in a Cinderella type of story where she was doing all these chores, she was some kind of servant girl, and somewhere along the way she heard the story of the stars and the endless sky, and heard the stories from Arlen about the tower and everything, or maybe not from Arlen, but about Arlen and the tower or anything, and she became obsessed with those stories because she was some sort of servant girl type of Cinderella storyline, and because of that obsession she went searching for Arlen's child because she wanted to escape the life she had up in this so-called world of the angels or the chosen people that Bomb was talking about. She wanted to escape her life there as a servant or whatever sort of position she was in, and so she found Bomb there, because of her obsession with Arlen's story, and because of her obsession with Arlen's story, wants to take Bomb's place as the chosen one, so to speak. So again, it could even be a combination of those two things, but I think she's going to be Arlen's servant and heard this story directly from Arlen herself. But I will admit, it also makes sense that maybe she sought out Bomb in that cave because she heard just the fairy tales of the tower and of Arlen's story and everything, and she went out in whatever world she was in and searched out Bomb's cave and found him because of this. Now, this is interesting because we could get I'm so excited for this backstory whenever we get it. We could get some completely sympathetic backstory for Rachel and why she sought out Bomb's cave and why she did what she did. Because something that I think we still have to remember is Rachel isn't necessarily the villain of Tower of God. She's a rival to Bomb. Siu has even said she's the female protagonist, but she isn't a hero. So she's the protagonist, but not a hero. I have always seen her as more of a rival for Bomb. She's not strong, but he is. And it's not this normal shonen rival where it's the person who's slightly stronger and your main character is always trying to catch up. It's a completely different relationship. But I've still always seen her as a rival type of character in terms of the role she plays in the story to Bomb. So, again, I find this really cool. I'm really excited to see what the actual backstory will be for who she is. And I'm really interested to see if this backstory will actually make us sort of soften on Rachel a bit or say, you know what? Maybe her backstory is so bad and maybe it paints things in such a different light that we're like, oh wow, the entire story looks different now. Because I've had stories do that before where you look at something a certain way and then you get this new information and you're like, wow, that completely changes the way you look at everything. So I'm really interested to see, because this is something that Bomb doesn't know either. What is beyond the backstory that we know? And again, like I said, eventually the mechanics of the stuff, like Bomb like what the cave actually is or how he was revived, eventually all of that, like we'll learn the mechanics behind it, but that's just something that I can't really take into play because like we just don't know about it yet. But yeah. So that's my theory. I'm interested in what yours is. Just to summarize it, I think Rachel was Arlen's servant. That's why she's good at cleaning. That's why she knows so much, because she learned it from Arlen herself. And she wants to take Bomb's place as the child of prophecy because she wants to carry out Arlen's will. She wants to be the one to carry out her will, her revenge, because she cared about Arlen. But a side theory summarized could be that she heard Arlen's fairy tales, and it wasn't because she cares about Arlen or wants to carry on Arlen's will. No, she wants to replace Bomb as the child of prophecy because she came from such a horrible place where she was that she wants to she just wants to be the chosen one. And it's her way of escaping into freedom. So yeah, that's my first guess and second guess. So I guess it's kind of a dual theory video, but excited to hear yours. Either way, like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this theory, what your own theories are. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Reviews, catching up to the ones I missed back when things were still coming weekly, are coming soon. But I've just spent a lot of time lately working on this theory video. Really didn't take long. It was just mostly trying to put my words into a video format that wasn't all jumbled and messy. So this is my second or third time trying to record this and have it come out all right. But I've been working a lot on, I've got a video coming that I think I might want to try to bring other YouTubers in on. I don't know if I'll do it or not, where we can talk about characters who have the most screen time or who have gotten the most screen time in Tower of God. I've taken a lot of notes on that. And I've also taken a ton of notes on a video that I've been talking about doing for a while, where I will go through and try to predict guess every ranker that we've met so far, their rank between 1 and 100,000, whatever their rank is. I'll give my predictions on that. So yeah, I've taken a lot of notes for those two videos lately, but reviews will come as soon as I feel up to them. I'm thinking about maybe just trying to do one a day every day that I feel up to it and try to like push through them. That way I'm not starting off behind when the series does come back from hiatus. But yeah. Sorry, this is turning into like an update discussion. But follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, ask and I'll give you one. And if you want to help support the channel on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.